Hey, what's up guys, it's Theyo for Final Concept. So I got my hands on the Samsung Galaxy A32 and upon using it for a while, I realized it's quite similar to a phone I've reviewed on this channel. More on that later. But is this phone any good to justify the price of 1,700 Ghana cedis? Well, let's find out then. Inside the box, we get the phone itself, the USB Type-C, the 15-watt charging brick, and the SIM ejector too. Now the phone comes with a variety of colors and they have some special or weird name depending on who you ask. There are awesome black, awesome white, awesome blue, and awesome violet. Now of course they are awesome because if you take a look at them, they are quite beautiful in person. I got the A32 in this awesome blue color and I must say it looks really good. The sight fits neatly in my tiny hands and with 184 grams for the weight, I have no complaints here. On the right are the volume rockers and the power button. The left houses the SIM tray and at the bottom are the headphone jack, the USB Type-C charging port and the speaker grill. There's also a secondary microphone at the top for dual audio recording. You get an included clear case for protection, which is cool. Protection aside is kind of necessary because the back of the phone is quite glossy and fingerprinty. At the front is a 6.4 inches screen which comes with Gorilla Glass 5. The screen is also Super AMOLED at 90Hz refresh rate. I must say switching for a 60Hz phone to a 90Hz phone looks so smooth. Now I'm beginning to wonder how the 120 and 144 Hz looks like on a smartphone. The AMOLED screen makes it great for watching content. Combined with the 1080p resolution and the 20:9 aspect ratio, just see how great my videos look on this device. The screen's 800 nits of brightness is also great for viewing content out in the open. Unfortunately, it might be a bit difficult to see the screen under the direct sunlight, but once you bring it in a slight shade, you should see everything with no issues. Security-wise, on top of all the usual unlock options with Android devices, the A32 comes with Face ID and an under-display fingerprint scanner, which works just fine. Since it is optical, which makes it more secured, it is the same reason that makes it not as fast as the traditional hardware on say the back or the side. You definitely notice a slight delay when unlocking with a fingerprint, so bear that in mind. Now if a variety of colors were not enough for you, well, there's more. It comes with 4 different variants. There's 64 GB of internal storage with 4 GB of RAM, 128 GB of internal storage with 4 GB of RAM, 128 GB of internal storage with 6 GB of RAM, and 128 GB of internal storage with 8 GB of RAM. Each powered by the 12nm MediaTek Helio 680 chip, running on Samsung's One UI version 3.1. over Android 11. The unit I have here comes with 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of internal storage. You should expect an entire day of battery life with a 5000 mAh battery. If not, the 15-watt fast charging should top up your battery in a few hours. On the back is a quad camera setup, so 4 cameras. Now I know this is amazing and all, but don't get too excited about the cameras on the back. The main camera is a 64 megapixel f1.8 26mm wide sensor. Then we have the 8 megapixel f2.2 123-degree ultra wide sensor, a 5 megapixel f2.4 macro and depth sensor. Photos on the main camera are clear, vibrant and warm looking, and gladly it still retains details in each shot. In the camera app is this scene optimizer which is supposed to make photos look a lot better than they actually are. Now here's a photo without the scene optimizer on, and here's one with it on. Now if you take a look at the pictures, it's either there isn't any significant difference or the test I use is not the appropriate one, because I didn't see any difference. Photos on the ultra wide also look decent enough. The edges do take quite a beating in clarity and sharpness, but besides these they are good enough. I don't know if anyone would want to use this for macro shots, but here are some few sample shots. The 5 megapixel depth sensor also does a great job blurring out the background in each shot. Now the rear camera shoots 1080p at 30 frames per second, and here's how it looks and sounds like. So this is the video quality of the rear facing camera. As you can see, there isn't any form of image stabilization. That's quite unfortunate. I'm going to switch to the ultra wide so that you tell me how it also looks. Now with the ultra wide, I think there is some form of image stabilization. It's not as drastic as what you get on the A50, but I think this is working quite well. I'm not that impressed, but I think it's okay. 8 megapixel for the rear facing camera is also pretty good. Well, actually, the main and the ultra wide both come with image stabilization, but the one for the main camera is digital only, so you definitely notice a little bit of jitters when you are moving. The front facing camera is a 20 megapixel f2.2 wide lens, which takes stunning selfies when the subject is close enough. A bit further produces some slightly washed out images, or it could be because I'm wearing a white shirt in this picture and the HDR is trying to compensate by brightening up my face. The selfie camera also shoots at 1080p 30 frames per second, and here's how it looks. Alright, this is the video quality of the front facing camera. Let me know if it looks any good. Now I was comparing this phone with a Galaxy A50, which you can find more up here or down in the description below, and there are a lot of similarities. Almost the same phone in some cases. And I still don't get the naming scheme. The A32 is somewhat better in a lot of ways than the A50, which doesn't make sense to me. But then again, the A50 is much older, so new hardware, A32, it should be better because it is newer. So yeah, there are lots of things to like about this device, but it all boils down to whether or not you should purchase one. Well, just as I said in the A50 video, I did say that if you have about 1,500 Ghana cedis for the starting price, then it is definitely one to consider. I think I'm changing my mind to this one. The A32 is definitely another one to consider. It has newer hardware, the ultra wide is as great as the A50, and the megapixel count of the main camera is even bigger. Apart from that too, it has a bigger battery and yeah, it has a lot of things that the A50 does not have. So yeah, basically I highly recommend it. One more thing, let me know how my setup looks like. I'm trying to keep this for a while and see if I'm going to get some good reactions from you. Let me know in the comments below. And the question for today is, would you consider getting the A32, or you will still want to buy an older device like the A50 for 200 Ghana cedis less? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel and other channels, should I have them linked below. And as always, don't forget to share with your family and friends. This is Theo for Fino Concept, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.